That would be this one. I'll go back to where you were. It would be this one here, right here. This one right here. Just open that up. And I call myself a community organizer. Project Veritas. So let me talk a little bit about this one. So I was doing all these investigations into Planned Parenthood, showing the abortionists were telling me how to commit fraud and lie about age, and they got fired. And then a young woman sent me a Facebook message and said, hey, why don't we go, do something on Acorn. I didn't even know what Acorn really was. I went on YouTube and looked it up, and I saw them. They were breaking the law. They were illegally entering people's homes, foreclosed homes. They were squatting property. I just, these people are lawbreakers. What if we did something? And Hannah Giles was the young woman who messaged me on Facebook. She said, well, what if you go in there and say you're a prostitute? And I actually, that's a really good idea. Most people say this to you, you think they're nuts, but that's a good. There needs to be a pimp. There's a prostitute, there should be a pimp. So I decided to try to find a pimp, to play the role of a pimp. And I went around, I'm from New Jersey, and I found some of my Italian friends who might be able to pass for some street-looking guys. I'm discriminating, of course. But because I'm not the most pimp-like of individuals. But I couldn't find, and then the guy who I found, he had to go to class that day, so I became the pimp. So I needed some type of pimp costume. So I went up to my grandmother, and I said, Grandma, do you have like a fur shawl that I could wear? And she hands me this 35-year-old chinchilla coat. And she's like, what do you need this for? And I said, I swear you'll never... She's like, is there something about you I don't know? And I said, no, it all makes sense. And then I was able to show my grandmother this wonderful summary of what happened with the Acorn story. So take it away, Jon Stewart at The Daily Show.
The right-wing lunatic fringe in this country, race baiting, with coded insinuations and incessant attacks on community organizations such as Acorn. Ever since Barack Obama emerged on the national stage, conservatives have been obsessed with the group, alleging that their thugs are committing voter fraud. Well, those accusations didn't really pan out. But that won't stop their paranoia, as evidenced by this hidden camera investigation of an unlikely duo looking for tax help.
Scenario: a young woman pretending to be a prostitute and a man pretending to run for Congress one day walk into Acorn's Baltimore headquarters
and are promptly shown the door.
Is this against the law in Maryland? Prostitution?
Anything that the government takes money from the dollars against the law. If you get somebody with taxes, so they can talk to your car and show them how you look at me.
Okay. A code for prostitution.
You might have to name it something else. Before they talk, let's see. Entertainment artist. Your business is a performing artist. But you are. Okay? So stop saying,
Got it.
Or you should refer to yourself as a toll booth operator. Genital contractor. Used vagina salesman. What's remarkable is how unfazed the Acorn people are by this question and situation. This is clearly not the first time they've been hearing this. Oh, you're a prostitute and a pimp, and you'd like to work through the tax implications of said relationship. Hey, Tanya, get me Form 7D. But I'm sure Acorn has a line that they won't cross.
There's going to be 13 El Salvadorian girls coming into this house, and they're very young, and we don't want to put them on the books.
Who's selling 13 underage Salvadorian sex slaves is the line.
because they live in the house.
Are you kidding me? Did you hear what they said? Oh, yeah, what's that, 13? Oh, yeah, hooker's subject. Yeah, let me, I'm gonna need another form. By the way, you should try Guatemalan once the shipping charges are half. All right, so this Acorn office has some bad apples. But in Baltimore, I've seen The Wire. You wouldn't see this kind of thing a few miles away at the Acorn office in D.C. My girlfriend's prostitute. I don't know.
I'm kind of figured.
I'm using the money to keep it. You know what I mean?
Right, but with that this action, you don't know where it's coming from. It's what we're trying to tell you.
All right.
We're looking out for you.
Okay, that's DC. I've seen C-SPAN. It's shithole. That would never happen in New York.
Right in the house. With a backyard. You put a new rag in there, and put a single story with yourself, very good.
When I tune, I put the money in a
And then put your there. I put the grass over.
Oh, by the way, never mind. Hey, kid. If you want to start your own prostitution ring, and they're underage, and you're tired of paying tribute to the government and defense, if you can, government draft makes a great safety deposit box. You're welcome. And that, the more you wish you didn't know. All right. So, good news, bad news. It's good news, bad news. The bad news, Acorn appears to be a corrupt organization that aids and abets criminals and gets millions of dollars in taxpayer money. The good news is, it seems to be very well run. No questions left unanswered. If the DMV was run this well, we'd probably have universal health care by now. Well, this is an impressive expose. I would love to know the intrepid journalist who broke this story. 60 Minutes, the AP, that guy who gets the predators.
And then you're done this time the whole world. You're not a fan.
Yeah, I wonder what this guy's ever. Are you? First of all, you don't have to tell us you're a white guy. Your pimp costume appears to be a fur coat on top of your Andover uniform. Where were the real reporters on this story? No investigative media? Give me a camera three. Where the hell were you? You know who wrote this story? These two. The two kids from the cast of High School Musical 3. The video camera and their grandmother's chinchilla coat. And you got nothing? They did it for $3,000. That's Blister's monthly beard wetback budget. It probably cost CNN that much just to turn on their hologram machine. I'm a fake journalist, and I'm embarrassed these guys speak to me. What's this over, people?
So that was the Acorn story. So after this came out, as in everything we do, there's a huge reaction. The first day we released the first video, the second day the second video, the third, and so forth. And then what the media did is, oh, we got him. It's an isolated incident. Well, it wasn't an isolated incident. The media got caught red-handed trying to say it was. So it was pure asymmetrical warfare. It wasn't just the investigation and what it showed. It was the fact that we took on the media and won. In fact, after this story came out, the New York Times was forced to apologize to its readership for not covering the story and for trying to cover the story up. That was the victory. And this whole idea of going on offense is so foreign to most people I talk to. And for many people on the conservative side of things, I really do believe that if the media stopped being so liberal, they would just sit on their hands and go, well, I guess it's a slow news week. People just don't have it in them to really go after the heart of things. And that's what we do at Project Veritas. We've been doing it for years. And I want to show you one of my favorite videos because I think it really captures the essence of what we do. We remember the story in New York about 8 months ago where they printed the names of all the people who own guns? So we saw this, and I think in Colorado there was actually something that happened after we did this. But we decided to do a little experiment. Because these journalists, very much against guns and very much in support of gun-free zones. So we decided to go to the homes of the journalists and ask them to put a sign in their lawn announcing to the world that their home and their property was proudly gun-free. So of course, no one would ever make such a proclamation, because to say that your home is gun-free would be to invite burglars. But I want them to admit that. Because if they admit that, they're violating their own views. In fact, they're making an argument against the very laws they claim to support. But what we need to do is catch the hypocrisy on tape. Because when we get it on tape, things actually change. So I'm going to show you this video, and then I'm going to talk about the consequence that came from it. But as you're watching this video, just know that the first minute or so, you'll see kind of like an infomercial. I create little PSA ads for my spoof videos. I'm being sarcastic, and I'm saying that I'm from a group called Citizens Against Senseless Violence. And I am in support of gun-free zones. So first watch the spoof ad, and then the confrontation.
We are not afraid.
No guns, no violence.
No guns, no crime.
No guns, no murder.
Guns kill children.
All cops, not citizens.
The police will protect us.
Guns make good people do bad things.
Take all guns from everyone.
So no one else is harmed.
Anti-gun is pro-America.
We are not afraid.
Join us.
Tell everyone your house is completely unprotected.
Tell them this is a gun-free zone.
Put a sign in your lawn that says no guns here. We're not afraid.
We're defenseless. We are not afraid.
Join us.
Join us, because there's strength in numbers.
Suburban New York City newspaper is in the middle of a big controversy this morning after it put up online the names and addresses of everyone with a gun permit.
We also know which houses don't have guns.
Since these reporters and editors did not consider it a violation of the privacy and safety of others to reveal which homes have guns and which homes don't, we want to see which of them would be willing to put up a sign publicly declaring their homes to be gun-free zones. While we didn't find any members of the media with the strength of their convictions, we did find quite a few guns, and some good explanations for why they might be necessary.
We're really hoping people will kind of lead by example. And advertise themselves out as proudly, this home is proudly gun-free. Can we put you down for a sign? In this neighborhood, that nobody might put that stuff like that. They actually published the list of all of the gun owners.
We're just doing the same thing, just it's just people that don't opposite. You know, that's the opposite. So I mean,
No,
what's the difference, really?
I do believe in it, but I think I'll pass it.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, we're with Citizens Against Senseless Violence. Is this?
I'm sorry, I can't tell.
No.
Is
You don't care about children?
Is this, we're just trying to get people to notice and to see these.
Do you have guns? I agree with you, and I am on your side on this, but I just wonder if that's not an invitation to somebody with a gun.
I'm going to pause it for 1 sec so I can explain. So this is interesting. This is a guy from the New Jersey Star-Ledger. This guy is vehemently anti-gun, and he just said, that's an invitation to a burglar to come and, he's making the very argument against the thing that he supports. What's more interesting about this is that this guy, Bob Braun from the Star-Ledger, actually sued him for defamation for an unrelated thing. I did an investigation in New Jersey Teachers Union and exposed racial slurs hurled by teachers, and then they wouldn't fire the teachers because of tenures. So I wrote this story, and then this guy says, oh, you got the teachers drunk. I didn't get any teacher drunk. So I asked him to print a retraction, he refused. I eventually sued this newspaper for defamation, and here's what I'm allowed to tell you. The parties agreed to a resolution. And let me also say that I've used the fruits of that resolution to fund videos like this.